Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Brad and I are doing our top 10 polarizing games. These are games that, at least the way that I took it, was that there's no real middle ground for a lot of them. There's not people that are like, it's all right. It's either you either love it or you hate it.
Pretty
That's
much.
it. That's and this went through a few iterations for me. One, because we had made the list previously, and then like I moved and all that. So then it was like, all right. And then played a few more games that I thought would have just made this list even better. Um, but I think this one's gonna be exciting because I don't think it's gonna have a whole lot of games on it that typically make a top 10, at
Yeah,
least
I
for
mean,
me.
yeah, because there's some games on this list that I don't even necessarily like, and it's on that because I don't. I mean, it's polarizing. It's
Yeah,
I'm on that side on some of these that I don't like them, and I'm in the minority,
yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
Nope, that's
so,
fair. There was only one game on this list that I don't like. The rest I actually do. Well, actually, no, there's another one that I used to like, and I've kind of I've fallen away from it.
mhm.
But the rest I genuinely enjoy. So let us know, uh, which ones of these games, which side you're on. But are you ready?
Yep.
All right. My number 11, the honorable mention, it was on the top 10 till I thought of another game, is a hugely popular one, but still one that I mean, with all of these, I have heard both sides, of whether they love it or it's just not for them or they actively dislike it. And that is
No.
Root.
Yeah. This
This
was
is
on my
one that,
short list.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is one that I think we both, like we're on opposite sides because I don't think, if I remember right, you don't really like Root.
I don't.
Um, And I think it's one of the greatest area control war games out there, especially with just how much they've supported it. At this point, it is the only game by Cole Worley that I like. Every other game that he's done has either not been for me. I mean, I could have put Arcs on this, um, but I just didn't want to talk about Arcs. But I mean, I'm definitely in the minority on that one, but I've also seen people who don't like it. But Root, again, its biggest issue is the barrier to entry, how much like you have to bring to the table just to learn the game. Um, and for a lot of people, myself included, don't either have that attention span or that time to want to put into it. So, I mean, I personally believe that a game has to hit almost immediately. Not be like, this is my favorite game of all time, but you have to still be like, oh, okay, I like this. I want to get better at it. And Root is definitely one of those games. So, I mean, this is one that whenever I play it, I very rarely play it with people who have never played it ever because it's just a bear to teach.
Yeah.
Last time I did play it was with three new players, so I was the only one. So that was a little bit different because it was kind of a teaching game for me. Um, but I was like immediately reminded of why this one is such a headache because one of the players just did not click. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know of a way to explain it any better. Like, because I also used to believe you can teach anyone anything. And then I tried to teach anyone anything, and it doesn't go over well.
Yeah,
But
for
Root,
sure.
if you take the time, every single faction is phenomenal. I've done a tier list on my favorite factions or on the factions for Root, and even my least favorite one, I'm like, no, this is still a great one. None of them I actively dislike. However, I can see why people would dislike any of these. Um, I'm not like, delusional and like I don't get it. But yep,
Yeah.
that's my number 11. Root.
Yeah, we'll have to tell each other where we land on the polarizing side of each of our picks.
Okay. Yeah,
That'll be interesting.
well, assuming we've played them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I feel like a lot of my games you actually haven't played. Some of them you
You
have.
have played every one of the games on my
Okay.
list.
All right, cool. Well, then
Yeah, so
I'll definitely tell you.
all right.
Hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
So my honorable mention is a game that I was super excited for uh, when we backed it, and then it fell into this deal where I mean it's still rated really high on BGG. It's an 8.6 on BGG, but the grind of it is just mind crushing as
Hmm.
far as the stuff. I'm hoping that the expansion that is currently being on GameFound right now maybe fixes a lot of that. That's my fingers crossed, and that's
Ah,
Icebarian Guard.
this is such a good one. Oh my God. I didn't even think about it. I can't tell you. I can't. I'm in the middle. I
Yeah,
lied. This list is already debunked because I like everything about. I like the gameplay. I like the
right.
story.
Hmm.
Everything else I hate.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. It's like, but I think, and that's why it's my honorable mention. I think is because there has been those murmurs about how this expansion and different stuff is going to maybe do some fixing on that, maybe.
Well,
Um,
so I mean,
yeah,
obviously they added the cinematic mode,
right.
which can be implemented now. I've done a video covering the rules. I have not personally played with those rules. Um, the guy I've been doing the series with, we're getting ready to start campaign 3.
Hmm.
And then we're going to implement that. But he's also doing his own campaign with another friend that he's going to start campaign 2 with that. So he'll have some stuff. But I think the biggest thing is with the Veil Guard, right?
Yes.
Is it's only 2 guards, but it pretty much is the scale of this game. So
Mhm.
it feels like they've really dived deep into 2 guards and combined all the systems of these 8 guards into the two almost.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I think that alone will be better because I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the structure of Isofarian Guard is really neat. You have the 2 guards per campaign, and they each do something different. They have their own story, their own simultaneous story. It's a really ambitious game, but I mean, clearly, this was not play tested.
Yeah.
At least to the level that players would go into it.
Right.
Like, sure, the mechanics were play tested. Maybe campaign 1 was play tested, but I don't even believe that. Because no way in hell would someone be like, "Man, I love spending 8 hours just gathering resources. This is amazing."
Yeah.
Um, because the best story I can tell of this one is because they've done 2 reprints, each trying to fix the grind, which clearly says people are unhappy
Yeah.
with the way it is.
Yep.
Um, but before those new rules came out, I remember my buddy and I, we were going to record for campaign 2. We moved one space, just a regular node, and the random battle took 2 hours. And we were like, we're done. So they've done a lot of ways to fix it while still keeping true to the game, but I even skip a lot of that because it's like I just want to do the story stuff. So the cinematic mode helps a lot with that. However, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's why I put it here. I mean, it's because there's a lot of ire for that reason, but I think it could be rectified depending
yeah.
on how things go. But
I'm in their Discord. I did even though like I'm pretty sure Eric hates me because it sounds like all I do is bitch about his game, but I'm like, no, dude, your story and gameplay is really good. Uh, but everything else is fucking trash.
I mean,
Um,
and it says something for a game that has those issues, but we both still own it. You know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
that's true.
we're hoping that it rounds out.
Yeah.
But
But I did see someone in the Discord that was like, the Icefaring Guard is a lifestyle game, and I'm like, no, it's not.
it's not.
Like, I mean, maybe because it takes your entire life to get through a fucking
Maybe
battle,
I'll be talking
but
about a lifestyle game here in a little while.
but I was like, no, because once I'm done with the story, I see no reason to ever go back and play through it ever.
Yeah.
Like it's like this was a good story. I really enjoyed my time with it, quote unquote, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I can think of tons of other lifestyle games that is not this, and this just isn't built to be one. I don't think.
Right. Yep.
Yep,
I
this
agree.
is a great one. Didn't even think about it. Did not even think about it. All right. My number 10 is actually the one that kicked Root out. This is the newest game on the list. It's actually on crowdfunding right now, which has been very helpful because I've gotten a lot of traction on my videos for it. Um, and at first I didn't consider it to be one because I just really liked it. But then the more I kept thinking about it, I'm like, oh, nope, I can see why a lot of people wouldn't like this. And that is Dawn of Madness. Dawn of Madness is a hugely narrative driven game that encompasses a whole wide range of horror elements that if you were to kind of go into it, the amount of like reading that you have to do is akin to basically like if you and I were to play, I'd be like, dude, wear something comfortable because I'm basically reading a book to you. So
Awesome.
but then, and I mean, so the game is inherently long, and that's why it's at number 10, because I think the systems and everything and the story, the writing, all of this is amazing. I mean, it's no Dark Quarter, but I mean, it's up there. And like these authors actually have talent, which is just not even, something not even heard of with Dark Quarter. But whenever you are reading that much, and it's constant and it's huge sections, I think that alone is going to cause people to really not vibe with this game. But then you add on the actual game, and it's not like again, Dark Quarter is a perfect example because here's a game with a lot of reading, but there's also game to it. You actually touch the pieces and move around the board that actually matters where you're going. You utilize uh different dice and your own player board with these different sections with different colored tokens in them that all matter and do different abilities. It's
Amazing how that works, right?
yeah, and whenever you actually make a game, yeah, it's so weird, weird. Like, but that's the thing is like this feels like it's almost too much. Like they could have just done it to where you had the five sections, and it's like, okay, like tokens just go in here and you utilize because each section applies to a different like element of whenever you're fighting a creature, but it also has its own special power. And you need certain colors in those sections to be able to succeed at various checks. So it just keeps adding more and more and more that can be just overly complex. However, I personally really like it. I think it's a very innovative system, and like the art, the writing, the atmosphere is all top notch. Like this is probably the best horror game out there, especially from looking at a bunch of different mediums like Dead Space, Evil Within, even though those video games suck ass. Um, like Resident Evil, Amnesia, all that kind of stuff is drawn into this. So, but what they're doing, and remember, this is a indie company, with like three people who work for the company. Their latest game found one is including a save system, so the length of the game is already it doesn't really matter anymore. And two, they're doing professional audio narration. Huh, imagine that.
Yes.
So I mean, the biggest thing that I are saying, that I'm bringing to this list is already kind of rectified. Um, because now you don't have to set it up and play for 6 hours because you have no way to save it. You don't have to destroy your voice reading it because someone else does it for you. So, but until then, whenever we made the list and whenever I added this, none of that was out right now. Well, the save system I think is kind of out. I think they have a like a PDF save file that you can write on, but they have an official storage solution for it.
Gotcha.
Um, so yeah, like this one, I think is amazing. It again is one of the best horror games out there, but I can definitely see how it could just be a little bit much for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I hear. All right. My number 10 is a game that I showed you as well.
There's no dick jokes though,
Right.
which is a shame.
That's disappointing. Yeah. Or whatever that one was about that one lady tickling twat or something like that or something. I don't know.
God, just peak writing.
Yes. All right. So my number 10 is a game that it's this one fits this list, I think, perfectly because um it's an IP game. So and it's hidden movement and
Oh,
stuff like that. So it's like the people that like it really like it. And then there's other people that are fans maybe of other of hidden movement styles that this one doesn't necessarily work for them as far as being one of their top games in that genre, and that's Sniper Elite. um, so like I came to this game because I love the video games, and then I had never really played a whole lot of hidden movement, stuff like that, games prior to. So this is kind of new on that uh, deal as well. But it to me this was a really cool one. I like being the sniper, sneaking around. It has the um, so the sniper mini is never actually on the board, but anybody else that's playing are controlling these different platoons of Nazis, and then you are the sniper has like a little its own little dry erase board that is the map, and they're doing all their movement secretively on that map, uh, and they only show up on the main board if they make noise, like if they shoot or whatever, make noise, if they get seen, of course, and stuff like that. And then it's like turns into kind of like a run and gun until you can get hidden again, and then there's different objectives you're trying to get to. Um, and there's just a lot of replayability with this, especially if you have the expansions because it adds extra boards. So there's different stuff. There's a bunch of different missions you can choose from, like the playing cards here at the bottom. Those are your missions. So there's a deck of those, and you have to pull two of those, and then you're trying to get two different suits, and then that'll kind of tell you what your mission is. It's kind of like a combination of two things, and so you're running through doing stuff like that. The new expansions that just finished on GameFound add more boards. There's an all storage solution for everything. It adds an interesting thing because one of the awkward things with this game was if you were the sniper, you held that board in your hand and you're kind of like, marking on it and doing all this different stuff.
don't look, don't look.
Right.
I need to.
But now there's a sniper screen. So it's a big screen you put up. It's just that thing sets in there and then you just draw on it from there. So it makes it a
Yeah,
little, it was quality of life improvements and just added more content. But this is one of those, a lot of people can take it or leave it. And then there's ones that really, really go for it because it's a hidden movement game that it has a theme that isn't done in those style of games,
yeah.
like, and so yeah, I mean, to me, this is just a cool game. And like I said, I haven't played a ton of hidden movement, so this was kind of my first really bump into it full steam, and I really liked it. So it's just kind of stuck with me for that.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side.
Right.
I mean, um, it kind of showed me that like the hidden movement games I have are pretty much all I need. It's
Hmm.
not necessarily a genre that I'm like, I need a bunch of these games because you can only do so much, especially with balance, where it's like, oh, this leans too heavily into the person hiding or the person hunting. So I have the ones that I like, and this one, like, it could have just been the games that we played, but like, I don't like the fact that it's like, oh, I'm just gonna puppy guard this area, never move, and hope that you can kill, like, that I can kill your guard. And oh, I missed, and now I revealed myself. All right, that's fair. And you're just like, I'm just gonna stay here. Yeah, that's it. So, and then it's like, well, you can move, you could use the distraction rock. I didn't get that one,
Right.
because those are random. Um, so it just felt like a little bit too much, like at least for the sniper. So.
Well, my
I
go ahead,
didn't
sorry.
vibe with me.
Well, this one really sings to me. Um, it's better with the bigger player counts.
Oh,
So
I can see
like,
that. Yeah.
because like when it's a two-player game, you're controlling all the guards,
Yep.
but all the other ones, they're kind of controlling their own little sector of
Hmm.
colors and stuff. So, if you're not having quarterbacking, I mean, it kind of makes it for interesting stuff where people are it's harder to get away because you have
Yep.
different people's thinking styles and spreading out or doing different stuff. So it's
Yeah. That's
because I
true.
played a full player count and that was as the sniper and that was a blast, like just running around and sneaking and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean,
Nice.
so that's why it's on this list is just because it's kind of you know, you love it or you hate it.
Okay. Good deal. My number nine is definitely a game that you've played, and again, I think you're on the hate side of things. I absolutely love this. I loved it whenever it was first taught to me so many years ago. Granted, the company has been kind of weird about it. It's done, like everything is that is out for it that's gonna be, but they've done some weird iterations over the years, and that is BattleCon. So this is Devastation of Endines. This is not the latest version, but it's the big box. Because they did BattleCon Unleashed, which was like a storage solution for everything for the game. Um, but like over time, they made a lot of rules changes that they kind of suck with towards the end. Um, but again, they had so many different standalone boxes that I don't know. I don't really care for standalone expansions. I've come to realize it's like yeah, but you're still kind of expecting me to have everything for it. Like Aeon's End is a great example of like standalone expansion, but you're right in the middle of the story. Okay, so I need everything else. No, you don't, technically. I don't
It's
know,
so
it's
they can
weird.
charge more because then they have to give you a whole nother set of components and all this stuff and then
Oh yeah.
and then they can get more money out of stuff that they don't have to really remake. It's just
Oh, yeah.
oh here's more dice or here's more you know
Right.
kits or whatever that's going to make the price go up on the game this much. But
Yeah. And I mean that's true because then it's gonna have people go, "Wait a minute, I'm confused on the story." And it's like, "Oh, well you need the eight expansions
right,
prior." It's like, oh, but that's a lot of repeat components. Yep, that would make sense.
yep.
But anyway, BattleCon uh basically a physical version of a 2D fighter. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken. Well, Tekken is actually you rotate Soul Calibur, you do the same. But anyway, it's like a 1v1 fighting game. But this one again, kind of like Root, has so much overhead and there are 90 fighters if you have everything that each play radically different. So props to level 99 for not I mean, yeah, out of 90 fighters, some are similar. It's like this one uses a side deck, these use potions, that guy uses alcohol, but they still feel different from one another. It's actually quite amazing. But I think because I also could put a Exceed on here. I hate Exceed. Um, but a lot of people like it because it's a lot quicker to play. This one is longer to play because it's very methodical, getting into the head of your opponent. Because nothing in this game is random. Everything that you are doing, I mean, these guys are playing wrong, so they're basically making it really shitty. But everything is about reading your opponent, reading the situation, and using the best cards available to be able to damage your opponent. Because whenever you play cards, you play a blue card and a red card, and that makes a pair of a combo attack that you're going to do. That has range, damage, speed, guard, armor, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of different keywords that might, be before the cards go off or after the cards go off, or if you hit the enemy. All of that matters. So you need to be at the right range. You might want to go before your opponent, and so on and so forth. But the reason why there's no randomness is because you are given cards, a card that showcases all the cards your opponent can play. And every time you play those two cards, they go into a discard pile. That's what the face down cards are on this screenshot. And those will cycle out. So every two cards you play, sorry, every two pairs you play, eventually they will come back to your hand. So you can't spam the same move over and over. But they have icons on them that show you, oh, you can't possibly play this pair. So you're looking, it's like, okay, these are the cards that I know are in his hand. What what is he gonna play? And how can I, if I think that's what he's gonna play, how can I counter that? Um, so it's just so much of like methodical thinking while also having the overhead for a lot of rules, a lot of keywords, a lot of nuances that you just eventually learn as you play the game more and more. So, kind of again, like Root, it requires that capability um, to want to actually dive deeper into this. But at the same time, you also have to kind of figure out which game you want, because there's the standalone expansions and Devastation of Endines is a really big one, but it doesn't have the new rules where they use focus tokens instead of like a health dial and things like that. Those are like the expansions that came after. Do you go out and get the Unleashed set that has all of them, and then you're just overwhelmed by the amount of characters? Uh, because each fighter is put into what, well, there's a class like of what type of fighter they are, but then there's also novice, intermediate, and advanced. So is it just a play style character? Is there a character that doesn't really work for the way you like to play these games? There's so much that goes into it that's not even about learning the game. And then learning the game has its own set of nuance as well. But I've been in it not necessarily since the beginning, um, but I've kept up with it ever since. And this is like a game that I only play with like one other person because that means I don't have to teach it to a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number nine, BattleCon.
I kind of fall in the middle on this one just because,
You can't.
well,
It's
I
the
can
polarizing.
because I don't mind the game. It was just the finisher crap that I didn't
Mm,
like. And I know that you said that kind of got
that
straightened
got
out a little bit
reworked.
and stuff, but
Yeah, because originally, probably when you played it, the finisher was like, I think you had to have 10 health or less
yeah, it was
to
when
be
you
able
were
to
about
pop
to
off.
die, you could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was their idea of a catch-up mechanism. However, they changed it because now they added focus tokens that you get. And focus tokens is also your timer. One, you can spend those to either give yourself a +1 to attack or +2 to speed or +2 to guard. You just have these innate tokens you can use. But it still is kind of like a health thing because you spend focus tokens equal to your health. But you can only ever hold 10 focus tokens. Um, so yeah, like it still is kind of like that, but you still would need to save up and you have kind of a sneaky way to be able to cast your finisher. Um, which is actually kind of cool because there is a character, she's a blood mage, and she deals herself a lot of damage to be able to cast her, play her cards, which is not my playstyle at all. However, I think in one of the very first fight I used her in the tournament I did for this, uh, I never spent my focus tokens because you get one at the beginning of every round. So I saved them up and I just ramped damage to myself until I could get to 10. Then I popped my finisher and ended up winning. So that was cool. Like I was like, hey, I kind of used her. It didn't work the second time she played. Um, but yeah, this game is I think really really neat because the way you would play a certain fighter is going to be different depending on who you're actually fighting against,
Right.
which captures the 2D the fighting games really well, I think.
Yeah. All right. All righty. Well, my
Cool.
number nine is also a 1v1 game. It can be played differently, but 1v1 is really the only way to play it as far as I'm concerned. And this one also, I put on this list because there are huge fans of this game. And then there's three sections of people, right? There's people that love this game. There's people that did love this game and got burnt out on it. And then there's other people that hate the randomness so much that they don't want to touch the game for anything. And that is Dice Storm.
Oh, nice. Okay.
um,
This is not the game I thought you were gonna say.
I'm on the where I really like the game side.
I'm
Um,
on the I used to like it and I'm
right.
so burned out. I and it's been so long since I've played it but I still have no
Yeah.
interest in ever
No, I
touching
know.
it.
And that's why I said there's three, because then there's other people that don't want to touch it at all because it's just too random with the half you have to get the right cards in your hand. You're also rolling
Mm,
dice. You do blah 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 all this stuff. It's there's a lot of randomness. So this one like just kind of like what you were talking with BattleCon. It's mainly 1v1's really the best way to play this, and you just pick a character, whether it's the Marvel sets or the X-Men sets or the classic fantasy kind of different sets, and you just they the thing I like about it is everything you need to know is on that little sheet and the
yeah.
dashboard that you get. It's everything fits in that little tray. You just pop it out, lay it down, shuffle up, and you're ready to go. um, and there's just a lot of cool ability things you can do. There's timing windows. But it is super super random. I mean, that's you have to be able to or at least deal with the randomness part of it. Um, but yeah, you're just trying to go until you kill the other one. I mean, that's pretty much your deal.
Yeah.
And they have all different styles of play in this as well. There's the annoying ones that block everything, which completely suck. But
Yeah. The moon elf that's clearly unbalanced.
well, and this guy Miles Morales does the same thing because he has
Yeah.
that crap where he you know sheds damage and stuff like that and
Yeah.
everything. But
Yeah,
yeah,
this
this
one, I remember the first time I played this game was like super close. It was like one of us was like down, not me and you, but the guy I first played this with, like it was like down super bad, but then they were making a comeback and they ended up being really close. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." And then I did that tournament for it and I'm like, "I fucking hate this game." Like it's so and then we did it again for the Marvel and I'm like, "I fucking hate this game." Like I am being a whiny bitch the entire time because it's I'm even winning, but it's like this is fucking annoying. Because it's like, okay, like, oh, I finally rolled something. Oh, I'm gonna turn that into a one or something. Fuck. It's like, oh, good. Now I can't do anything. Your turn. Oh man, wow, look at Yahtzee. How cool. And nope, nothing in my hand that lets me, mitigate that. All right, guess I lose.
yeah
It's
so
fucking awful.
so that's why I put on the polarizing list.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like again, I think the tournament was a bad at least the double elim tournament definitely was a bad idea. Um I mean I'm even seeing it with Evian. I'm doing an Evian tournament right now and it's like, oh man, like I'm just not drawing the cards I need to. And the tournament setting, even though it's clearly casual, there's no stakes to it at all. Losing every single matchup is not fun for the person. I mean, with
Yep.
Marvel Dice Throne, it's like this is fucking annoying. Can I win one? It's like, oh, you finally won one. Anyway, back to the losing streak. And it's like, yeah, like, clearly, it's not like we're picking our favorite characters and we're hoping they make it far. It's just randomized seeds, but still, it's like it's just too random. And I don't think this game has enough. At least Evian has a lot of depth to the characters. I don't think these guys do at all because it's just their deck and what's on their board.
Yeah, it still has a hell of a. The one thing this company's done right with this game is the organized play, because I mean the turnouts at the conventions are huge for
Oh
the
yeah.
tournaments for this game
Well,
and
I
stuff.
mean, yeah, and I mean to be fair, they did release. I can't remember if they charged for it or if you just had to email them. They did release like balance
It came with
packs.
the last Kickstarter. It was like a
It
free
did.
thing if
Okay.
you, yeah, yeah,
Which is good. I mean, unfortunately, we're in a medium that balance patches aren't really the easiest because it's not like, oh, we'll just update the video game to get the balance patch. You have to either pay for it or maybe, yeah, the latest Kickstarter where you get it for free. However, that's good that they recognize that and they find, I'm sure you could just email them if I
mhm,
owned all the stuff previously and I would have gotten it. So that's cool. And two, I 100% believe that my complaints of randomness are, you know, trashed by people at those tournaments. Like, I bet you they're doing something to understand how the randomness should go.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I do not see how you could be like, well, actually, you can mitigate the rate. It's like, no, you fucking can't unless you're cheating. But maybe there's a cadence. Maybe there's like a you don't burn your whole hand. You know when to, you
yeah,
know, take damage or take attacks and so on and so forth. But still, like you still have to roll well. If you just
exactly.
roll nothing every single time, then who cares how good of a player? I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, that's my polarizing number nine.
Yeah. I will say also, I don't like that they went, like generic characters for season one and two, and then went to Marvel. I really don't like that because I think it's stupid to mix them.
I think they
Like,
just
hey,
had a
we got
chance.
Gunslinger versus
Yeah,
Thor. It's like, okay, this is fucking stupid. It would have just been better, I think, to just keep doing generic characters,
I mean,
especially since Marvel
for
is
a
so
bit
tired.
business sake, though. I mean, they made a shit ton of money when they came out with Marvel. I
Oh,
mean,
well, of course.
so, I mean, for their business, I mean, yeah, it's a no-brainer to do it. But yeah, thematically, it's kind of weird.
Um, because have they announced? Did X-Men?
Yeah,
Did they do X-Men?
X-Men. Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't played the X-Men one yet,
yeah.
but
They're following that Marvel Champions trend. Like
yeah,
then they're gonna go back to regular Marvel because X-Men is like kind of I don't know. I don't know why everyone because Simon went to X-Men for Marvel United. So Marvel Champions went to X-Men with Marvel Champions, then Marvel United, then Dice Throne went to X-Men. I don't know. Are they all under some umbrella, some Disney? Like, are they forced to be like, now you got to do X-Men because we're trying to implement that in the MCU?
yeah, I'm not sure.
It was just kind of a weird trend. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
my number eight, I believe, is a game you also haven't played. Um, but this one I actually have personal experience. Well, I have personal experience with Root on people not liking it, but I have been in groups of this where almost half the people playing it loved it, and the other half just did not have a good time. And this is the purest logic game that I have in my collection, and that is
yeah.
Turing Machine. So Turing Machine is a logic game, like I just said, where you are trying to figure out based off the scenarios that are in the book, or they have a website slash app that randomly generates everything. So you have literally infinite replayability on this game. But you're basically trying to figure out a I mean, it's a looker, honestly. Um, you're trying to figure out a three-digit code faster than than your opponents, and by using the fewest logic uh clues they before everyone else. So literally all you do on your turn is because it's numbers 1 through 5, and you pick a blue, yellow, and purple combination of numbers. You could literally do 4 4 4. Um, and you take those and you organize them and you put them behind kind of like a screen uh, with all of these logic rules. Um, because they have, they're coded in such a certain way. And based off of the answer that you get, which is either going to be a check mark or a an X, that's basically gonna give you some information on that particular code. So you're writing that down. You're like, okay, 4 4 4. I can't really read any of these.
Sorry.
Um, like I'm trying to, yeah, I can't read any of them, but it might say like, uh, yellow is greater than purple and blue. So let's say you did 4 3 4, and that was the prompt, and you put it in, and it was an X. Well, now you know that yellow is not greater than purple and blue. And if you did 4 3 4, that means that there was an X. That means that yellow is greater. So you know that yellow has to be it has to be a 5. If
This
my
game just makes me want to yawn.
um Well, stay away from Corpse of Discovery then, because it follows all the logic type of. I mean, search
I
for
think
Planet X, search for lost
I think
species,
it's the
all of
look.
them.
Like
Oh yeah,
I can pull a little bit of theme out of Core of Discovery,
that's true.
but this one, man,
Yeah,
is just so.
it is thematic though. I mean,
Yeah, it
it's the
is. Yeah,
Turing
it is.
test.
It is. It's just
Um, but no, I have like if my randomly made up example makes any sense whatsoever, that's literally where you're doing. So there's no rhyme or reason on what combination of numbers you're going to use. Um, but if you cannot think, and this is going to sound super like condescending, but if you can't think logically, like base logic, like everything else is out the window, pure logic, like this game is, it's just not going to be for you. Um, because each of those prompts, each of those questions are going to be important. Depending on what answers you get, you might be like, it's if you get like the answer on one, combination of numbers, then that might tell you the answers for another prompt. And eventually, what'll happen is you'll be like, I think I got the number, and then you will actually run and check. I think it's on the app or on the in the physical copy. And if you're right, and no one else also checked and got it right, then you win. If you didn't, then you're actually out because you know the answer. But I mean, I think this game is just a testament of brilliance to its overall design. I think the physical copy is really amazing. Um, and I mean, just the fact that they have the random generator for their website is equally impressive. So this game is definitely not going to be for everyone. Like I said, I've been in groups where like players are just lost the entire time. They're just not getting, what the cards mean. Even like one of the times I played it, my friend Zach and I were trying to explain why the answer was what it was, and it just wasn't clicking. So yeah, and I mean it's not like anyone's fault. It's not like you're dumb if you don't get this. Like I'm really, really bad at like artistically thinking for certain games. Like if you're doing like the Unlock series, some of those escape room puzzles, I'm just like, okay. Like whatever. I would have never thought of that. But I've played with people who are like, oh yeah, you just take this and then you fold it and then you look through it like this and it's like, and that's the answer. And I'm like, mm-hmm. I'm gonna go to my boring Turing test game.
yes.
So I'm gonna go be weird and just play this while I'm sweaty. Yeah, so it's awesome. Um, but I've also had people like really not click with it, but then like once the logic did finally start making sense, he ended up loving it. So you never know. Like I say give it a shot, maybe it'll work for you, but you can probably tell if you're gonna like it or not just from the description. So
Yep.
yeah, that's my number 8, Turing Machine.
All right. My number eight.
I will say I think this is a better logic game than Core of Discovery and Search for Lost Species in terms of its logic.
Right.
Gameplay wise, I'd rather play those games because they have more going on and they're more fun.
Yeah.
Um, but every logic game is unfortunately you will if you mess up, it's over. Search for Lost Species / Planet X or even Core of Discovery, if you just don't if you misunderstand a rule or a clue and you run with it, your game's over,
Yeah.
which is just unfortunate for all of those style games. So yeah,
Alrighty.
that's my number 8,
Well,
big
my number
boy.
eight is a
So
game that
is the B on your hat for Brad? Did you just
no,
get a
it's Boston Red Sox.
I know.
You wouldn't probably wouldn't believe how many kids at school ask me that same question when I wear this
I
hat
know.
though.
I'm a student of yours. I'm like Billy Madison. I'm just this
Oh
grown ass
God.
man. Mr. Brad, is the B on your hat for your name? Seth, what the fuck are you doing here? I have a propeller hat on.
Yes, you would. All right, so my number eight is a game that I'm in the minority on. It's the 18th ranked game on BGG in the top and all time,
It's
um,
disgusting.
and it's it is the reason it is this is because um, I can see that it's a good game. I mean,
Ha!
I understand why it's 18, right? But um, I think me, and then the people that don't care for this game, I think we were expecting a different kind of game out of it, other than what it ended up being.
Whose
And
fault is that? Hmm?
well, I know,
Hmm?
but
Bitch? Is it B on your
but it's
hat for
still
bitch?
maybe. So anyway, I'll just the game aside, and the reason, like I said, it's on here is mainly because you know it looks like it's going to be like a you're dudes on a map war game. You're gonna be fighting constantly. You're gonna be doing all this stuff. When you get to start playing the game, it's more about resource deal engine building. You know, it is area
You,
control, but it's
yeah.
not like you're not battling constantly with the mechs and all this different stuff. And I think it just never really hit with me, and some of that bias even crept over to the spiritual sequel to this game because I don't like that game either, and
I
I don't know if it's the world that just doesn't click with me as much or
which is
what.
actually interesting because I figured you would have liked the alternate like
I
history to it.
I know, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I thought so
Um,
too, and but yeah, go ahead.
I this one is an interesting pick because I actually don't hear many people hate on this game. I mean, granted, it's also an older game, so I'm not like I don't think people are in forums still hating on Scythe. Maybe it was like that whenever the game came out. Um, but this one was like insanely popular for a majority of people, I feel like. I think a better pick for this would have been Expedition.
Yeah,
I think Expedition is a much a bigger polarizing game because it says sequel to Scythe, and it's fucking not even close because Stonemeyer just doesn't understand tags. Like
yeah.
Tapestry, a civilization game. Liar! It's not. So
It's just one of those, and maybe widespread, like that's the case, but like I've played this game 8, 9 times over the time, with several different groups, and like nobody's kept their copy. Like
yeah,
everybody's gotten rid
I
of it.
have.
You have it, but I haven't played this game with you.
Oh yeah,
but
I love this game.
no, I know, and I
This game
think
is so
it's
good.
just a mindset thing, and I don't know what it was. I don't know, but like everybody I seem to play it with goes in expecting one thing and not getting that, and then they just kind of don't. And I know that's an us
That's
problem,
yeah, I was like, that's definitely a
but,
player issue.
right? But it's
Like
still
we
just
went
something.
into the Dark Quarter expecting it to be good, and it wasn't. That's gonna be the
Maybe the
running
rule of
theme.
thumb is we just need to not have expectations.
Yeah, oh, hey, dude, that's how I go in watching a lot of like movies. Like I don't see trailers. Like I know nothing about like any trailer for a lot of movies, and I watch it. Like Sinners, I heard it through word of mouth, and I was like, okay, let's go see what that's about. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. So yeah, because people's expectations are put these things on pedestals,
Yeah,
and then it's like it's not that great. It's like, what were you wanting from this? It's amazing. So. Yeah, I mean, I understand the thinking it's going to be a war game, and it has a war theme to it, but it is definitely resource management.
yeah.
And I mean, you do fight, and depending on which faction you are, you might fight a lot, but
The black,
it's
I think, is the one that fights a
very
lot. I think.
they are,
Yeah,
but it's it's very not deterministic really, but it's as close as it
gets
can be.
close. Yeah.
Um, But yeah, like I remember last game day I went to, like we played a 6 player game of this and I won by one coin, 1 point, and I was like, yay! Still undefeated. Uh but yeah, I don't know. I think I would have put Expeditions. I think Expeditions was because so many people I think liked Scythe. that they expected to like Expeditions a lot more and didn't.
Yeah, and I could
Um,
see I just only played Expeditions at one time. So
yeah,
it's like I've given this one tons of plays and it just seems like the people that we play it with just don't it doesn't hit. That's why I kind of,
that's fair.
you know. So anyway, that's my number 8.
Nice. All right, my number seven. Funny enough, I think kind of falls into this one in that I think more people like it than they don't. However, this has spawned kind of two standalone expansions or standalone sequels that over time I feel most people aren't diving into, and that is Nemesis. So Nemesis, one, the rulebook is atrocious. But two, this is kind of one of those games that I think for a lot of people just becomes very, very muddy with how much is actually in the game. And whenever you are playing with like full player count, it is egregiously long, where there it has no rhyme or reason to be as long as it is. So I've actually always enjoyed this game at a lower player count because one, it gives you a chance to explore. Like I think four is like max. It should be max player count. I think you can play six, and that is disgusting. But not only is this kind of a hidden role game, it's so semi-cooperative, which I would say is this is the only example where semi-cooperative works because it is really hidden role and you never quite know if someone is on your side, kind of like in the Alien series where it's Bishop, not Bishop, Ash from the first Alien movie. And so there's always kind of like that turn heel moment, which is always awesome if it's done correctly. But if you don't like semi cooperation or you don't like hidden role, then it's just not really going to work for you, especially if you're having a miserable time and you can't really back out and the game is long. But they also like made two separate kind of games, which is Lockout or Lockdown.
Lockdown, I think. Yeah.
Lockdown, and then the new one, which apparently, from what I heard, a lot of people said Lockdown was basically this, but the new one, Retaliation, uh, did differentiate it. But they're still like their own games that I don't believe you can mix everything together. And I love Nemesis, but both of those expansion stuff I just have not had an interest in getting because I hardly ever play this one.
Mhm.
And normally for every other game, even if I barely play it, I want everything for it. But something about this one has even had me like, I'm good. Because I have all the expansions for the base game, the new species, and they have this really cool kind of mini campaign that after you play a base game, you play, I think it's called Aftermath, where you're like this new crew that shows up to this ship. So kind of like Dead Space at the beginning of Dead Space, if you've ever played that, where it's like you show up to the Ishimura and you're like, oh, what the fuck happened here? It's basically that. Um, but I've never touched that. Again, this game hardly ever gets played. Uh, so it's like I've never really had the, even though I'm interested in all the new Nemesis stuff, it just needs kind of a larger group. I think three or four is where this game sings. But again, I think that there's a lot going on. It could feel really bad if you're trying to hit like an escape pod and someone's like, "Oh, I don't think so." Because you also can't directly attack people, but you can do things that can very passive aggressively stop them. You could run through their room, making a shit ton of noise that causes the queen to show up, and it's like
All Bell.
I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. You can have them as like as a bunch of aliens run into a room. You could shut the door behind you and leave them trapped because you need certain cards to try and open up doors and stuff. So I think it's done extremely well. I can just see a lot of people either being turned off by the amount of content, the semi-cooperative nature, and the hidden role trader aspect.
I've never played this yet. It's on my want to play list. I've never touched it.
Yeah. I mean, it's an awesome experience, especially because it's basically Alien
Yeah.
without having that IP.
Yeah. Looks always looks awesome.
Yeah. So
All
that's
right.
it.
My number seven was that lifestyle game that I was talking about at the very beginning when we were also talking about Ice Fairy Guard a little bit. This one is on this list for two different reasons. First reason is the buy-in to this game is astronomical. Mind you, you don't have to have everything for this game, but the more you have, the better the game is. Um, and then the other one is just strictly it's kind of got an old school roll and move and then just dice chucking stuff that it doesn't fit for everybody. And that is Shadows of Brimstone.
Ah, yeah.
Um, this one, like I said, the more of this you have, the better the game is. Um, I mean, this whole company has just dove. I mean, this is their money maker, and the game itself is incredibly fun. But it's by all means it's not a perfect game. There's a lot of weird stuff, but it's an experience game too, where you're um like I said, you're dice chucking. The roll to move is kind of odd at times, and stuff like that, and it's kind of tedious and different odds and ends. But the stories you get after the game is what really uh, is awesome for the groups that I play this with, and we have a running campaign with this. It's not really a start and stop part of campaign. You just pick a story and go, and you just continue with those characters,
Hmm.
and it levels up with you and stuff. But the amount of stories, man, that we have with these games and our characters and stuff since the beginning has just been hilarious. And pretty much what you're doing in this game is the first iterations of this game is starts in the old west, and you're going into these caves and caverns and mines, and you're gonna hell is starting to creep into up into the world, so you're dealing with all these demons and monsters and shit. And then, if depending on what kind of box set you have and all this different stuff, there's tons of different other worlds that portals will pop up, and then you'll randomly just pop into another world that has all different kinds of monsters and loot and just environmental deals and everything. And you just have to go through and fight those and everything. The other thing I meant to remember with this is one of the reasons I was late into getting into this game is because you have to put all the models together. So a lot, I mean, that in itself is what makes a game like this kind of polarizing, because there's a lot of people, me included, back in the day, that didn't want to touch this because you were going to have to put the models together because you're not really into modeling. Um, I finally got into it, of course, and love it now. But that is one reason why some people turn away from this. A lot of people turn away with games you have to put that stuff together. Um,
Hmm.
and I don't
Those
know.
are
I don't
good.
paint. I don't paint mine. Of course, mine are just gray, but that's fine with me. Uh, but this
Those
is,
are actually really good.
yeah, the
I
cave
think that
spiders.
did those spiders have rocks on them or did they
No,
do
they've
that?
they've
Okay,
they've put rocks there.
that's cool.
Um,
Man,
yeah, I mean, there's so
I'm like
much.
like
Those
that's
those
really impressive.
barrels aren't there. That like those are
This
things
is
that people
this
have
is this
made. And
person's only game.
well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many files out there for 3D printing. You can just 3D print terrain for this and
Yeah,
do different stuff. So that's why I've kind of been looking at and bookmarking a lot too. But this game, like, I have thousands and thousands of dollars put into this game, and
I
and
know.
just
I took the time and went on their website and added up everything you can buy right now just off their website. What was it, like 7 grand
and that
of
wasn't even. There
stuff?
was still
And it
about half that you still wasn't even on the site.
right, yeah, like because there was a lot of Kickstarter stuff that wasn't on there. So it's insane the amount of shit that Brad just refuses to let me play.
It's
He
not
just
that.
does
It's
he
just space. Hey, when I get my game topper,
Oh
and I'll
yeah,
have that table, and then I'll be able to have enough table space that we can play it.
nice.
Get the date.
Um I think. Yeah.
But
Yep,
yeah,
this
this
one is what I mean because I owned the core box many years ago, and I don't remember why I got rid of it. I just did. Um,
I think
but yeah,
it's a
this
like
is a lifestyle game. guy on
Yes.
Discord.
I think the reason that you got rid of it is because I remember what some of your complaints about it, and it's like that's what I was meaning about. There's some people like the more you own, the better this game is, and that's what
Yeah,
the big cost of entry is into this game. It's like the more other worlds you have, and the more of those monster sets you have, the more variety there is, and then the more
true.
fun. But those core boxes, when you have like the swamp one, it's like there's five enemies in that whole
Yeah,
box that you're going to see a bunch of, and it kind of gets repetitive.
that's
You
true.
know, so like the more monsters you have, man, my decks of monsters are like this thick.
Right.
You know, so it's like, and you just flip them around, and it could be anything. It's just like
Which,
you don't
from a
know what to
recording
expect
standpoint, would be awful. Like
unless you have
I'd
them all set up and divided like I have them, because then it's all
even
set
then, it's like
nice.
every 5 seconds would be like, oh, okay, got to pull this out. So it's just a
Well,
lot of headache.
yeah,
Um, so if we do it like for the channel, I think what would be fun is it instead of being like a recording, like a session, like a game session, it's almost like a vlog
talk
almost,
about what the
where we
experience was
just
like each
yeah
match
talk
mission.
about what happened, almost like a storytelling element.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, like funny enough, we have a great example because I believe I'd have to go and see if I can find it. One guy shit on this game during our top 10.
Shadows of Brimstone.
Yes.
Did I not see
Uh,
that comment? I guess I need to look at
I
it.
guess not. I don't remember. I'd have to see if I could find like the top 100.
Yeah,
Um, there it is, 2024, 10 through 1. See if I can comment. Let's see. Because someone just went off on it, and maybe it wasn't on the top 100. Um, but anyway,
yeah.
yeah, someone was talking about how it's like the worst game they've ever played.
And like I said, that I mean, there you go. That's why it's on this list. I mean, it to get the full experience, you have to spend a lot of money, and that's one. I mean, that barrier of entry alone is what makes it. I mean, if I would looked at it now, because I missed the very first Kickstarter. I didn't do the
Oh,
very
I
first
found it.
Kickstarter.
I found it. It was
Okay,
20 through 11, not 10 through 1.
okay.
Great list with the exception of one game, in my opinion. Adventure slash dungeon crawl slash exploration solo games are some of my favorites. Love CGG and Awaken Realms. Mage Knight also great. However, Shadows of Brimstone, I have Forbidden Fortress, has to be the worst game I have ever played in this field. Random dice chuckfest with little player agency. Tries to be Warhammer and an RPG. Terrible at both. No campaign or storyline. Anything or by Awaken Realms or Ryan Lockett better than this. It's expensive and takes a lot of time to assemble minis. Rules are fiddly, just a big waste of time and money. Sorry.
Well, it's because he started with the Forbidden Fortress. I mean, that's because like the first two boxes came out, which were Western. One went to the swamps. One went to like an ancient, uh, like area. Ancient Aztec kind of stuff or whatever. But then they had all their other worlds, and then their next big one was the Forbidden Fortress, which was another starting set as
Yeah,
a standalone expansion that we talked about like earlier, and it. I don't know. I don't use it as a starting area. Like I use that as an other world because you could just use that
yeah,
whole Japanese deal as like another other world and
yeah,
stuff like that. Because in my opinion, I think the Western going into other places works for me better. And I know that's personal preference and stuff, but
yeah,
when my Mexican bandito that's drunk all the time goes into a portal, ends up on a derelict spaceship with zombie astronauts, and comes back with a lightsaber. I mean,
yeah,
a drunk dude with a whiskey bottle in one hand, a lightsaber in the other. He's there's just a lot of different stories and stuff, and there is a campaign. It's just not like traditional like what you would see.
What he is
You know,
expecting is, yeah, like an actual progression
yeah, you,
storytelling campaign. And funny enough, we'll get to my number 6 that does the exact same thing. Um, it depends on the way you want. If do you want a story told to you, or do you want a story that you are telling?
yeah, because this is a role playing game for all intents and purposes. I mean, you have your character sheet, and you are tracking everything on that character sheet and everything, and it's to me it feels like when you're playing D&D, other than you actually are doing stuff on a board more than just having the storytelling. It's
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, this one is an outstanding experience, and I've all the events like when you're going from a mission, you go to a town, so then you have the road events that take place, and the books you have a handful of them, but there's so much fan base behind this one that somebody created like I don't know how many. I'm going to say maybe 1,000 more
Oh
road events,
God.
and I have them printed off. And you roll dice, and that's just tons more in there that just do different stuff. And you could be making stuff and doing stuff with this game forever. I mean, that's like you
Yeah.
said. This is definitely a lifestyle game for sure.
Yep. Which unfortunately against it is if you're not in it from the beginning, you
Right.
never will be.
Oh, that's what I was saying. I missed the first Kickstarter. I got in on the second one, but because it cost me so much to go back and buy all the stuff from the first Kickstarter
Hmm.
that I've been hitting the Kickstarters after that. The Kickstarters take 3.5 years to get to you, um,
They're very
but
slow.
but to me it's fine. I mean, me and two other guys that buy this stuff too. Whenever we all get our pledges, we take a day off of work, all of us, and we go into my basement and we just sit there and put models together. I mean,
Take your
that's
shirts off and put
no,
minis
no.
together.
But we just have a model building day, and it's just fun to do that and
Yeah,
stuff.
little
But
boys kissing time, putting minis
no,
together.
no, 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 no.
Oh,
so,
well,
so
you're
anyway,
missing out. That's the real experience. All right. My number six, funny enough, is exactly like this one, except you think these minis are insane to put together. This
okay.
one is on another level. Um, and also a barrier to entry game because it is very expensive, although not as expensive. To be fair, like there's no rhyme or reason why Shadows of Brimstone should be as expensive as it is. Because
It's
it's
the
like
amount of minute. It's the amount of miniatures.
right, but you get also get way better minis with this one.
Well, you get better
And
maybe, but you get quantity. Like I have thousands of minis for
yeah,
for this game. You know.
yeah. But this one I think is extremely polarizing, one because of, price point and miniature assembly, as well as I was on the hate side, and now they've since released an expansion that makes it great. That is Kingdom Death Monster. So, yeah, this one I think is definitely kind of on that edge, but one because of just content and how the game actually plays. But similar to the way that that guy was talking about with Shadows of Brimstone, is that this is not, I mean, it is a campaign. You play through Lantern Years to finish out, you have 30 Lantern Years to fight the final boss by the end of it. Um, but this is not a game where a story is being told to you or decisions you are making that branch the narrative in different directions. This one is a lot of the stories that you are getting out of it. And I mean, I enjoy both. It just depends on the content. Like, it's more personal to be able to tell stories to you, or to be able to tell stories based off the way a game went. Uh, but I mean, it's like watching a movie or watching a show. If the writing is really good, then it's a lot more immersive. Having a campaign being, narrative being told to you. Um, But I mean, this game is exceedingly random. Like everything that you are doing during a fight, I mean, it's rinse repeat. You have a settlement phase, then you have a hunt phase, and you have the encounter phase. And you can have your best survivors go out and get a fight and just whiff every single attack and have the enemy just completely demolish you. And you've had your best fighters be killed. And then you start from square one, and you're kind of trying to play catch up ever since then. However, with the Gambler's Chest, which was their newest release, they've done a lot more in rectifying that to where your survivors ramp up way quicker. So if you do have a party wipe, it's not like, oh, might as well start over. It's like, okay, well, we have a bunch of other people that we can still quickly level up and they're back to where they are. Um, I mean, balance is not a word that I think Adam Poots is even aware of for this game. It is like because there's a stat that you can have called luck that if you increase, it basically increases your crit chance. Because normally a D10 is a critical, but then if you have like five luck, then a 5 to a 10 is a critical, and criticals bypass a lot of enemy responses. So if you just get a luck character, they're just going to mop the floor with anything they're fighting. I had this character named Whippy Bobby because I was really trying to make whips work as a weapon. Um, and he was a monster. Like he was just disgusting because he also got like a personality trait that made him a murderer. So he was like killing other settlers but becoming more powerful. And as that trait leveled up, he would also absorb their stats. So what we would do is we would have because whenever you're going through the game, they will eventually retire. So whenever he was about to retire, we would have another character with that same murderer trait run in and kill him and absorb his thing. So they enemies just or your survivors just got stronger and stronger. Um, but there's so many different builds that you can do in this game. It is uh the new Gambler's Chest stuff really turned this game around for me because I hated it prior to that. I was like, man, I hope this company fucking tanks. Like, I really don't want them to succeed anymore. Uh, but now they've been releasing a lot more content that I'm very interested by. Again, when you are buying this game, a lot of the content in the box are sprues because you are putting, and it's not like four pieces you're putting together. It's like their legs, their hands, their weapons, strands of hair. It
Mhm.
is insane on how you're trying. And I think they've gotten better at having diagrams to put the minis together. But back when I was putting them together, nope, there was none of that. So it was overbearing having to do that. But yeah, like this game is swingy. It is expensive. Um, Like so there's so much that goes against it that I think and then the content I think some people just might not like in general because it's very gruesome and very dark. But I would love for this to be like an RPG because I think the world is very, very creative. But a lot of the lore you have to find somewhere else. So it's I think there's this one just kind of really fits this list because the people who stand by this game, like man, they are
Mhm.
really, really into it. And I mean, but then there's other people who are gonna try it and be like, nope, nope, don't like it, and then they're gonna move on. So that's why it's my number six.
Yeah. Yeah, this was one I would just like to put the minis together. That would
Yep.
be my only thing I would get it for is to put those together.
Yeah. And I mean, to me, Aeon Trespass Odyssey is just a better version of this. And I don't have to put minis together. Well,
Yeah,
I guess
so
technically they released resin minis that you're putting together for me,
I
or
know
you're
those.
supposed to be.
I'm slowly working on them. Resin, it is a little different than the ones I'm used to being putting together because you have to do a different kind of glue and stuff. So it takes
Yeah.
it a little. It's a little different, but I'm getting them. All right, my number six is a game that we both own still, I believe. At least I do, and we both enjoy this game. But I know there's a decent amount of people that don't like this game, whether it be that the game style doesn't match the theme, or if it's too oh, what's the word I'm looking for? If it's too I can't think of the word. But
Nice.
huh?
I said
Well,
nice.
it's not like it's it, I can't think of it. It'll pop in here in a little bit. The game is
Oh,
Vindication. Um, but yeah, so the reason that it's on here is like I said, like if you go into it and know what you're going to expect, then you know it's a good game. You're managing resources, you are um doing stuff. The theme is there. I mean, it doesn't. I
hmm
mean, the theme helps, but that last expansion actually makes it the best, adding the story to it a little bit more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It brings the theme to the forefront a little bit. The word I'm looking for is abstract. I knew it
Oh,
started with an
okay.
A because this is I mean, some people think, oh, the theme sounds like you're going to be doing this, 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 this. And this is a very abstract game.
Yeah.
Like you are literally moving these little coins if you have the fancy version, or else it's, but you're going to be moving them in between the hexes, and then you get to choose which one of those hexes you're going to interact with, or if you're going to explore a new hex. And you really don't have much interaction with players, really. I mean,
Right.
other than taking a spot they may have wanted to go to do stuff, but you're managing your
Yeah.
resources like on your player board. You're trying to get your influence cubes to the right spot so that you can do different maneuvers. The thing I think is clever about this game, and we've talked about this before on lists that this game has hit, is the in-game triggers. So it's like
Yeah.
you start the game with an in-game trigger, and every time somebody passes where one of those coins are on the board, then it adds a new in-game trigger. So then you start getting these multiple ones, so you don't know. I mean, it could pop off, if
Yeah.
somebody has it right there. But there's a lot of different modules to this as well. Just tons of different stuff you can do with this game. Um,
I think
I
the
so I,
fact that it like it's kind of like what you were saying with Scythe is like the way this game presents itself as as if it's gonna be a like a narrative choice like character progression style game. And yeah, the latest expansion added storytelling to it, but everything else prior to that made it very Euro.
yes.
Like you said, you're managing like your own cubes that you're putting in these different stat areas that allow you to get more followers, or you combine them so you can fight monsters or go get artifacts. All of that is just to get you victory points.
Mhm.
Hell, even the storytelling stuff isn't like it changes the game to
No.
where it's like, nope, no longer about victory points. It's all about, a campaign story driven, narrative driven campaign game, but it's still not that. It just adds more theme to it,
Mhm.
which is, I think, a great addition.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, if you're going to go in thinking that it's going to be a D&D style game in this unique world, it's not even close.
Yeah. And I think the abstract part of it is kind of off-putting for some people too. It's
Yeah,
like nowadays it's like, oh, where's the minis and all this stuff, which I know there are minis in this game for certain things,
for like
but
bosses, I think, or
yeah, little
monsters.
bosses and like yeah, but as far as your character, you're just like this little coin or a chit that you just move around in a standee
Yeah.
throughout and do stuff. I enjoy this game a lot. I have for a long
Hmm.
time. But I just know that there's that underlying deal. Like there's some people like I've shown this game to that absolutely fucking hate it.
Yeah.
like with a passion. So therefore the only people I get to play it with are you. And then
Yeah.
I haven't showed it to Amy yet. I think she might like this too,
Yeah, I need
actually.
to show this to Ariana because it's been a hot minute since I've touched it, but it is really good, and I think you get theme out of it.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of the oxymoron of a thematic Euro. Oh,
Right.
those don't exist. No, I mean, you can get it, and I think that's becoming a lot more prevalent than it used to be back in the day. But no, this one's cool. This one is very, very unique, but I could definitely see why people wouldn't like it.
Yep. Yep.
Nice. All right, my number five used to be my favorite game of all time. I still own everything for it. However, I have not touched this game in many, many years. Um, and this one probably should be up at my number one because I know I've had so many people that are like, I love this game or I absolutely hate this game, and that is
Come on.
Talisman, fourth
Yes.
edition. Now I know there's a fifth edition. I have not. I was gonna get it, but then I'm like, I don't. I think they made a cooperative expansion to the fifth edition, but I haven't um I don't
You
know.
mean you
I
can
just
play Talisman solo? Yes.
yeah, it'd be so much fun. Um, I mean the running thing is like, oh, this is fantasy Monopoly. Sure, it is, I guess, in the sense that you roll a die to move. That roll to move aspect is there for all intents and purposes. If you it's just there, but what you're really doing in this game is, yeah, you're moving around the board, drawing cards, it's reading whatever the card says. It might be an enemy that you can fight. It might be an enemy you can't fight. It might be a place that goes there that makes it unique. If you have all the expansions for it, then you can go into a city, into a dungeon, into the forest. Um, this it's so kind of it's crazy to look back on this one, especially this picture. And this almost feels like a weird addition because of just how board games look nowadays. This feels like, oh, something you would buy at Walmart. Like your traditional board game is, hey, you have a board that you're moving around on. But I I don't know. There's something about this one that just still works for me, even though, like, I mean, yeah, I don't even think it's in my top 100 anymore. But just the pure fantasy elements to it, the simplicity of it, the fact that you just get different type of character combos just with the plethora of items and followers and spells and stuff that you can get. It it is just it has so much going on in it, but still keeps it relatively simple. This doesn't like bloat itself with a shit ton of rules that makes it, just obscene to play. I don't know. I think this game, for a lot of people, while mechanically is not the best, has that sense of like campiness or charm,
Hmm.
which is why I keep it around because I'm not going into this thinking it's going to be the best, if fantasy
Right.
RPG game I've ever played. Uh, but it's nice. I mean, it's just like, oh, what am I gonna? I go to the plains. I draw the card from the encounter deck. What is it gonna be? And you slowly level up your character enough to jump into the middle, and you encounter stuff in the middle to then get into the inner, circle to get to the crown of command. And that's what everyone's goal is. If you have some of the alternate endings, then you either have a revealed one that is a overall player goal that people can aim towards throughout the entire game, or it's a hidden one, and once you get to the middle, you pop it and see what it is. So they just did a lot of really neat expansions for this. Like there's a Reaper that runs around the board that if he lands on your space and you have to roll dice with him, and bad things can happen that way. There's a werewolf that might turn you into a werewolf. It just has so much elements of that type of old school fantasy RPG that just really works for me and a lot of people. But if you're going into this mechanically, I think that's where a lot of people despise it. And it is very long, I will say, like for what it is. That's really a crux for it. So I don't know if the fifth edition rectified that in any way. From what I can tell, fifth edition looks exactly the same, just maybe new art. So yeah, I mean, this one's been out for a while. Clearly, like I just said, it has a fifth edition, so it's been worked on, 5 times. But yeah, like I have everything for it. Like there's dragon, like I have a dragon expansion that changes the inner board, where there's dragons flying throughout the land. I have the Cataclysm board that completely changes the base board. So I think they did a lot of stuff right for the way they supported this game over the years.
I've never played. Actually, I played Talisman. There was a an iOS app at one point that I
Oh yeah.
messed around with a little bit. But then, as far as on the table, I played Relic, which
Oh,
is pretty
okay.
much the same thing. It's just Warhammer themed.
Yes.
But but yeah,
Yeah. I used to own Relic. They didn't support it as much. I think there was two
two
expansions
expansions.
to
Yeah.
Relic.
Yep.
But I wasn't big into the Warhammer universe, so I ended up getting rid of it. Um, like I said, this is a game that, like, if I were, I mean, I could be proven wrong, but like if I were to pull out and play it, this is like as casual of a hobbyist board game that
Hmm.
like that I could get. Uh, if you want a big game, yeah, obviously there's small card games, but like this one is just like, there's just something about it. Like
Yeah.
for a lot of people, it's movies that are campy, that are some people are like, oh, this is shit. Like if I was to show someone Legend with Tom Cruise and Tim Curry, people are like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "This is amazing! This is an awesome '80s fantasy movie." What's with like this weird horny devil? Yes, that's Tim Curry. It's amazing. So I don't know. I think I love high fantasy. So
Yep.
that's my number five, Talisman.
All right. My number five is going to be a bit of a cheat, um,
What's
because
wrong with you?
it's a series of games. Um,
It's 10 games.
and well, but not every game in this series is bad, right? So, and I'll explain when I get into it. So,
Okay.
this series of games is one that I've never really been a fan of. I can't put my finger on it. I thought I was a big outlier with this, but
Hmm.
it's been growing. There's been a growing disdain for this system. Like a lot of the podcasts I listen to, a lot of stuff you just see. Um, there are a few versions that I do like, so that's why, and I'll get into those. But that's the pandemic series.
Oh,
Um, so like,
interesting.
I like the Rome one, um, and then of course I like the dice version, but that's kind of different
Yeah.
than
You
this.
like well, from what we played of Legacy.
Yeah, and Legacy was fine, but like this game, like I just don't know. Like I think the theme has to really pump up the deal for me to tolerate the
Hmm.
mechanics, which is why I like Defenders of the Realm. Because I like that theme better. Freedom Fight, just different stuff like that has
Hmm.
that theme on top of those kind of mechanics a little bit. But
Have you tried the Star Wars one, the Clone
no,
Wars?
no.
Well,
But I just do not care for like this base pandemic. I don't think I would ever sit down and touch this ever. Just because I don't care about it. Like like it needs to have like a good theme put on or a good story. Like the legacy was good because it brought
yeah,
in some your decisions carried over and did more stuff.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I used to hate on this a lot. Uh, but then I've been hearing like a lot of people just bash on this series for like over the,
Really?
over the last few years. And it's
Is
just
it
been
the
like
okay? Is it the game or is it that
it's
they're
the
just putting
system.
pa okay. I'm like, or is it that they're putting because the pandemic system is good? Is it the fact that they're not liking the system, or is it the fact that they're putting the system in everything and they're like, yada yada yada, a pandemic game?
A lot
Because
of the,
like,
the ones I listen to won't touch anything that deals with pandemic. Like they don't like the legacies, they don't like stuff, which I give those a pass because of having stuff. And I am
those
interested.
people sound like that they just like to be in the out group. They're like,
I
oh,
am
it's popular, I have to hate it, and
I
it's like, okay, so
Well,
you're
I
a
don't even know
tool.
how popular it is anymore. Like that's the thing. It's like you know they're kind of just the one thing I'm looking at that I want to get is I want the Lord of the Rings one that's
Yeah,
coming
I should
out.
be getting that sometime soon.
Yeah, I want to definitely try that one just because that one has that theme that
Yeah.
goes on top and stuff. But
I mean, I
but
would agree. I think the other like Iberia, Fall of Rome, well, pretty much those two. I like it better than base Pandemic. But I mean, the Legacy series, season one, two, and zero are some of the best experiences in board gaming.
I think I've
Um,
only done one, right?
we didn't even finish one. We got halfway through one.
Oh, really?
And
I could
then,
remember how
yeah,
far we
so I
got.
mean, I have season one and two that we can still finish. But yeah, I mean, that's why every single company tried to replicate Legacy games. And because they couldn't do it, Legacy games essentially died. Um, but yeah, that'd be a weird hill to die on to be like I don't like that they're throwing the pandemic system in every game
Right.
like because it just feels like a pure marketing thing.
Mhm.
Like, this game it's not really gonna sell. So we'll just put pandemic on it and that'll do it.
Or let's get Matt Leacock to say he
Yeah.
helped Elevate so we can throw his system on here.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what I don't like. But
Yeah.
I think the system by itself is done extremely well. Pandemic as a game by itself, as a cooperative game, beats out a lot of co-op games, especially for because it still stands the test of time. I think anyway. I think it'd be weird to flip on it out of nowhere. To be like, it's never actually been that good. I know I've loved it for 15 years, but it sucks now. It's like, okay, so you have something else going on, dude. Go touch grass, you fucking weirdo. These are your secret cabal guys, aren't they? It's those fucking losers.
No, it's other guys.
It's other, they
They don't ever
suck.
talk about this game.
And nor should you really. It's so old. But
Yeah.
like, if someone were to come to me and be like, "Hey, I'm brand new to board gaming. I've heard there's co-op games. What should I get?" I would be like Pandemic in a heartbeat. Um, did COVID not traumatize you enough? Play a board game around. Oh no, that'd be Plague Inc.
Yeah.
Um, play
Yes.
Plague Inc. So I don't know. I think, but I can kind of see people hating on it as like the way that I mean like was it Hot Zone where it was like here's just the North America part. It's like what are you doing?
Yeah.
This shit's so stupid.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I mean I'm actually really excited for the Lord of the Rings one as well,
Yeah.
even though it was $80.
I mean, you got to put
Asmodee.
that tower together, man. It's,
Oh yeah, it's so good. It's gonna be cardboard. How
you might as well 3D
exciting.
print one. There's a file you can 3D print your own. It's a dice
Really?
tower. It's a dice tower that stands up yay tall, and it's the Eye of Sauron and all that stuff. You
That's
can.
cool. That's cool. All right. You ready? My
Yep.
number four? My number four is a game that I used to really like, and as I played more and more of, I somehow still own it. It's a game I should really enjoy, but I something about it. I don't know why, and that is Seventh
Hmm.
Continent slash Seventh Citadel. But
Okay.
I feel like this one again is somewhat like if you have the time and the energy to sit down and just really delve and learn the continent and take notes and just explore and then survive with like the way that its mechanisms work, I think that you're gonna have a really good time because this game really pioneered that map exploration system that so many other games took from it. Now I think a lot of these other games did it better, but that's kind of that's the risk you run whenever you're the first to do something. It's like we were the first. It's like great, we now can improve upon that.
Right.
Um, oh, those are nice.
And it painted them.
Those are nice little. Uh, I'm always interested in like how people do bases. Um, but yeah, like to me, this one comes across as just insanely fiddly, where it's basically you're never really like exploring or diving into the map. It's always kind of like, oh, got to move over next. Oh, got to go into the box. My filing system and oh, here it is. Boom. And then you're there and you're like, oh, nothing here. Do it again. Back into the box. So you're constantly having your attention divided with the game and then just the actual components, which I don't know, like because whenever you're doing stuff, even whenever you're doing stuff on the cards, like that card right there, it's like, oh, let's look at 91. We gotta do the or you gotta do a skill check. Okay, we don't need any stars. It just costs one energy. Discard a card. Let me find card 91. Okay, let me read a little blurb on here. Oh, this leads to another card. Gotta find that. So it just feels like, and then as the map expands more and more, it just becomes weirdly overwhelming while also not offering any sustenance. It's like going to a fast food restaurant. It's like, man, I am full, but I know I just ate garbage.
Right.
So, and then seventh, Citadel, streamlined it where there's actual story and it's kind of broken up into chapters, but the actual mechanisms of how many cards you're looking at, where because the way like Tainted Grail does it is, yeah, you are still moving from card to card and the map is expanding, but you're reading a lot. So
Hmm.
you spend a little bit more time on one card versus just constantly fiddling with it. So I don't know. I still own this game and I haven't even attempted to get rid of my copy because I'm like maybe like this is just one of those games that I'll just take the time and really dive into. Um, and just try and immerse myself into it. Uh, but other than that, like I mean, its card system is okay. Its crafting system is whatever. There's so much to explore. It's really, I mean, it is really neat. It is its own world to dive into. But I don't know if you've seen anything recently on Vantage, Stonemeyer's newest game.
I know that it's going to be hitting soon,
Yeah,
but
I that looks like it's like a perfect blend of Seventh Continent and Tales of Arabian Nights.
mhm.
So I'm like, well, that seems like it's going to be just completely killing this game.
Yeah,
Uh, but I'm curious for this out of all my games, I am more curious on this one on how people feel about it. If they're just like, no, I love it. We're so immersed every time we play,
I don't
or if
like
it's
it.
just like, yeah, it's like I don't know. I should, right? My top 10 is literally like now I wouldn't really say this is narrative driven, but like this should be something I enjoy, but it doesn't really work for me anymore.
It's too free roaming to me. That was one of the reasons I didn't
Yeah.
like it, is because there was no direction. I don't like to be necessarily on rails, but I
Yeah.
want to be able to have kind of a
Yeah,
general direction.
and it's so weird because yeah, Seventh Continent is pure open world, go wherever. It does tell you, like in the curse, hey, we know about a cave to the north, and that's generally where you're supposed to go. But if you can wander, and that's just what it allows you to do. But then Seventh
Citadel.
Citadel is too on rails because it's like, well,
Hmm.
you can kind of explore, but eventually you're just gonna be way too exhausted to be able to go any further. So it's kind of like go to point A to point B and back, and that's kind of it. So I just don't know. So that's my number four, Seventh Continent.
My number four is one of my favorite games of all time, and I put it on this list because there is a stigma about this game that people, I don't think, give it a shot. I mean, they don't even play it before they form an opinion on this game. They hear, oh, it's too convoluted, it's too difficult, it's too hard to learn. It's just it. I guess it's too intimidating to get into, um, and it is a bear to learn. But once you learn it, you kind of get the gist of it, and that's too many bones. Um, there are people that won't touch this game because they've heard other people talk about, oh God, you so much you have to learn, and there's so many keywords, and there's so many this and that, and stuff. Um, or there's just a lot. There's other things that people talk about too. They don't like the art. They don't like blah blah
Hmm.
this stuff like that. Um, but the ones anybody that I've ever showed this to, or whatever, that may or may not have had that opinion, have changed those opinions once they played it. So I think it's one of those things. I think it just needs to get to the table more with people, um, or give it more than just one shot, because one of the main naysayers on this game is Fletcher, um, and
And everyone
he
here's his address. So
yeah,
just dox it.
and
Let's go beat him up.
he played this with somebody else. I don't even know who he played it with, and he bashes on this son of a gun constantly. And I'm like, dude, you need to try. I think they played it with 4 players, and I'm like,
Ew.
dude, I was like, you need to play it with one or two max, and you need to play with somebody that knows exactly how to freaking play the game. Because I was like, it's not, the gameplay is fun,
It's
and
no
mind.
pitch though,
Well,
so
right, right. Well, mind you, I mean, they did improve this system, with Elder Scrolls and stuff. But as far as this game alone, there's so much uh, humor hidden in with the cards, and there's so
hmm.
much stuff that pops out and decisions. I think the stigma is what makes this game polarizing. I
Yeah.
think because the first thing you hear people talk about that have not played it's like, man, that game is super. It's like you haven't even tried. It's like sit
Yeah.
down and try it. It's like, yes, there is a lot kind of, there's that front and back sheet. You have to
Yeah.
look at your hero, but it's not like it's a co-op game. Where
Right.
if you're playing with somebody that's played it before, they can help you. It's not
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
kind of like
a
well, it's like with Root. If someone is like first experiencing and you just let them pick a character and it's like, "Oh, you picked the most complex character." Yeah, you're going to have a bad time.
yeah.
Um so Or, I mean, if they're just not ready for a game like this, then yeah, don't make them play it. But if this is in their wheelhouse, then yeah, I think it's definitely manageable, especially if it's a co-op game, because you can help them understand what's going on.
Yeah. So,
The only I remember playing this with someone, and he didn't like the fact that like it wasn't necessarily a narrative campaign. It's just kind of like you go through an encounter deck, and so there's no overall story. And I'm like, yeah, it's not that kind of game.
and that's what Elder Scrolls
Uh,
is.
no, yeah, exactly. That's true.
They, you know, they ramped it up.
But yeah, it's weird whenever it's like people bash on the game because of they're wanting it to be something else. Like, oh, I don't like Too Many Bones because it's not a campaign game. Okay, well, they never said it was. So, what, like if I was to watch a TV show, yeah, I don't really like Andor because it's not a samurai show. Okay, well then why'd you fucking watch it, you idiot? Oh, I don't know. I heard it was like it's like, yeah, but it's not. So that argument doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, if someone was to hate on this game because they don't like that there's not enough player agency in combat or something, if it's too random because you have to roll dice, yeah, those are all valid complaints. But yeah, it's like you had one bad experience of a game and then you ran with that because you played a four-player game of this,
Yeah.
which just sounds awful.
Yeah, I know. So that's why, like I said, that's why I put on the list is because there's a stigma of difficulty that people bring to the table before they even try the game. Because most of the people that play this game like it enough. I'm not saying it's going to be their favorite game of all time and stuff, but
Right.
once you kind of understand it, then it turns it into something at least you'll agree that it's a decent game, for the
Yep.
most people, most part.
Yeah. All
So,
right. My number three, I can't remember if you've actually played this one or not. Uh, I also know many people who absolutely despise this game. I very much love it. It is one of the most fun games that I own, and that is Cosmic Encounter. You've never played this?
no, because
Um,
I had a stigma towards this game. It's all negotiation and shit, and I mean, I would now, but back in the time, like I did not want to touch negotiation shit. That's
yeah.
one of the reasons I didn't want to ever play Rising Sun, is because I don't want to do the negotiation stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Um, I mean, this is a lot more curated negotiation. Like
Hmm.
it's not like as open as Rising Sun could be. But I mean, this game just has I mean, I think a lot of people don't like it because it's clearly unbalanced and but they've never meant it to be balanced. They have so many different aliens for this game. It is obscene with how many there are, and they're all radically different from one another, all in you know, tiers of difficulty, beginner, medium, or beginner, intermediate, hard. But the entire goal is just for you to control five different planets from other players, utilizing your special power that can be done at various points of the game. But what makes this game awesome is that it's never personal. At least to me, it never feels personal because you don't choose who you attack. You draw a card from a Destiny deck that tells you which color you're attacking, and then there's a window of like who wants to ally with me as the as the offense. Because if we win, then we'll all get a planet. But if you ally with the defense, you stop the person potentially uh from getting the planet, and you'll get more cards, which will be more powerful than your regular base cards. But it's very straightforward. Like you literally just have attack cards that add to your strength. There are reinforcement cards that also can be played by allies that add to the strength. It's just a numbers game. If my overall number is higher than yours, then I win. And, I reap the rewards. But what makes this game just insanely fun is the alien powers. They are all over the place. It is wacky. This is, a beer and pretzels game. It's not tactical in any way, but there are ways to negotiate. Like you have, I mean, one, you can negotiate with people to, get them to ally with you, but there's also negotiation cards that if both the offender and defender or the offense and defense play, then you have a 1 minute timer to try and trade something. Um, and if you don't, then both players are penalized. But also, if you play a negotiation card and they don't, then they're penalized for it, or you get compensation for it. So there's definitely nuance to this game. I mean, your hand is very important. So if you have shitty cards in your hand, you try and get through them as much as possible to get a whole new hand of eight. Attacking people, hopefully, when they have no cards is good because that helps you get a planet. But yeah, I mean, I know people who absolutely can't stand it because negotiation, swinginess of alien powers, swinginess of the deck. There's I don't know. I don't think there's any other game that's out there that's like this. And whenever they announced their latest expansion that literally had like components for every single module that they've made over the course and new aliens, I was blown away. And then they added the campaign, but that actually who cares about that part?
Right.
So yeah, this one I mean has definitely been around long enough that you just have I mean, you're obviously gonna have people who are like, it's okay, but I feel like it's either you hate it or you love it. Um, and I'm on the love it side. I really, really like this game. I think it's a lot of fun.
It came out in 1977, the first one. It's a year older than me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it's like its eighth edition or something.
Yeah.
I forgot that it came out that yeah, so it's been around a while.
I wouldn't mind trying this one at some point. You just have to have the right player count. I mean,
You have to have
it's
the yeah, a good I mean four or higher. I mean, honestly, funny enough, this one is the more the better. In my opinion, but you can get away with four and have a solid time. Three and lower, I mean, definitely. They did that Cosmic Counter duel.
yeah.
That
I
was just
remember you not
awful.
liking
It
it.
was
Yeah.
so bad. Uh, one of the first iterations of like duel. Now every game does a duel, and
A
it actually kind of works.
lot of
Um,
them do. Yeah.
but but yeah, this is a awesome party one that that really just works well. I never really care what alien power I get. I'm always like, oh, you know this one, and oh, okay, this is what I can do. And I'm excited to see what everyone else can do.
Yeah. Good choice. All right. So when we started putting this list together, there was three games that I knew automatically were going to be my top three. So this starts those obvious choices for me. Um, and speaking of making everything into a duel, this one would be cool if they made a duel for this one. Um, and it is on this list, I think, because of the content and because of the art. Like it's very distinct, and a lot of people are going to be turned off because when they see it and see just a lot of the different stuff contained in the game, and that is Epic Spell Wars. This one,
I don't know what you're talking about. This game is so family friendly.
but see what I mean about making a duel? That'd be cool to have a duel version of this, like a
I agree, actually.
Wizard duel with this. I guess that's
Yeah.
kind of what the deck builder is in a weird
Nope.
way, isn't
Nope.
it?
Remember we played the the deck builder as a
Oh,
two, and it was
yeah,
so
yeah.
bad.
I couldn't remember that. Yeah, I
I
forgot about that.
got demolished. It was
That's right. That's
so
one of my few
embarrassing.
times of beating you. Um,
It's awful.
but anyways,
But it ramps up at three. Like weirdly enough, three
yeah.
is like two is so bad, but then three is great and higher.
But this one, just the art is out there, very, very idealist. Like you either love this art or you absolutely can't stand it. It's got
Yeah,
adult
dude,
themes out
dude.
the ass.
You
You
know,
know,
like, have you ever read the opening narrative, like in the rule book?
probably, but it's
Okay,
been forever.
all right. Well, so you know, like the swear words and stuff, and the way that what is his name, Cody, whoever actually makes this game, um, the
Corey
way he write,
Jones.
yeah, the way he writes. That's how Dark Quarter was written.
Oh yeah.
That's yeah, it's
Yep.
bad. Like it's clearly like it fits the theme of this game, but no one's going out thinking the writing in this game is god tier. But Dark Quarter was like serious, and it's like, dude, this is just like Epic Spell Wars.
Well, and there's I don't know how many versions of this there are now. I only own two of them, maybe
I own
three.
everything.
But
It's actually yeah, it's up there. It's that pink with the pink Illuminati
Yeah.
thing up at the top. That
But pretty much what you're doing in this game, and I guess you can play this with two players. It's just not as the more the better on this too because
hmm
because a lot of the cards you're pretty much what you're doing is you're building spells. It could be one card, two cards, or three cards long, and you're building out your spells, and then you fire them off from left to right. God, that card, the cock cleaner.
That's what that was the first card I saw. Was called Cock Cleaner,
So,
which would have been like a spell in Dark Order you'd cast.
right, right. So,
Oh, and there's the MTIs, the magically transmitted. Oh no, it's MTDs, magically transmitted diseases.
yeah, yeah. So it's just like I mean, it's so inappropriate, but it's so funny, and like your spells will fire off depending on like initiative or the length of the spell. You know, the shorter, the least amount of cards, those will go off first, but they're not going to have as
hmm
many steps and stuff. But then the other thing I really like about this is a lot of the cards like will hit. You don't know necessarily who they're going to hit because it's like whoever has the most health, whoever has the least health, or maybe the
Yeah.
person to your right or the person to your left.
And
It
you're
just
trying to
depends.
target someone, and but a quicker spell
Right.
made them go lower. So it's like,
hmm
oh, I guess I'm attacking you now.
So this one's entirely just a beer and pretzels. You cannot take this game seriously because it's so damn funny. It's a lot of times you're just trying to come up with the stupidest spells, you know?
Yeah.
And depending on your group, and I've had one group that did this, in the rule book it says that you're supposed to announce your spell like you're a wizard, like you're casting the spell. You know?
Yeah.
And most
I
people just
think
read it,
everyone,
but man,
yeah,
it's
everyone
just
does it for like one round, and then it's like, okay, now this
yeah,
would be super. That would be fun to do, like if you're taking shots the
yeah,
entire.
yeah. I'm going
uh,
to use my cock cleaner. But
yeah, doing. Oh man, I'm trying to read
hey, I
them.
can't read it. It's the I,
Something prude-tastic dick disease.
yes.
It- yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
this was just so far out there that like the people that like this game, I mean, like love this game. It's a blast, and I really like this game. I need to get the other box sets. I just don't
I think
play
I'll
it
run
enough.
I think I'll run an event at like Gen Con next year and then just say ages like it's like not
Yeah,
put an age restriction. So Epic Spell Wars, that sounds super fun. This family shows up.
you have that big cock, like right that cock standee right there on your the or the pouch, the ball
The
pouch.
nutsack pouch.
Yeah,
Yeah. And be like, all right, here you go. Like just oh man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so yeah,
It's
this is just top notch. And there's going to be a lot of people that are just not going to have anything to do with this art and content wise.
rightfully so.
Right.
This one, if
Yeah.
someone's like, I fucking hate this game, I'd be like, I agree. I
Yeah.
love this game, but I somehow agree with you because it is insane. Um, yeah, it's something else, dude. Like
I need to go get those
it's
other boxes now, just to have them.
I
If I ever
have
get them.
everything for this game and the deck builder. Like
Yeah, I did.
I
I don't have the deck builder. I just need to get the other boxes. Like I think I have two of the. I don't know how many there is now of
yeah,
them, but
they announced those like not Magna, those Magnum condoms. Um, uh, they're like spell books, but they're actually like organizational things for all the cards. The wizards you have, it's insane, dude.
man, there's a lot of them in there.
Yeah, I got everything. I got
I think
everything.
I'm behind like four boxes. I think maybe,
I thought they just had five for Epic Spell Wars specifically, but they
maybe
might
I
have
don't know.
six.
So anyway,
Anyway,
that's my number three.
nice. My number two is a game that we both have played, and we hated it. This was my number one. Oh, no, my number one and two were games that I knew was going to make this list. Um, and this is definitely one that I got the most flack for.
Oh. I
Back
think I know what
whenever
you're talking about.
whenever I did my review. But I think a lot of people have finally came around to it, unless you play it two player, and that is Ankh,
Yep,
Gods
yep.
of Egypt. Now, if you ask, like I just said, if you ask people if they love this game and they say, I do, it's Eric Lang's best game, we'll punch them in the mouth because they're dumb. But two, ask them how many players they play it with. If they say anything other than two, then they are lying because this game is very, very bad unless you're playing it at 2. Because the while it might be innovative, the merge system is so fucking dumb that that's why they like it at 2 because that does not exist in a two-player game. Um, like this has your general tropes that Rising Sun and Blood Rage have, where you can get different types of monsters, and you have a god. Well, in this case, you have a god that you're moving around, and you have troops that you're kind of area controlling these different sections of the board. But I mean, the upgrades that you get are pretty much the same. This one just felt so watered down from Blood Rage and Rising Sun that I was like, okay, this feels almost like a you had to throw in the third pantheon. Well, I guess it's not really a pantheon. You had to there's like the Viking, then feudal Japan, and then Egypt. But I mean, the minis are amazing,
Yeah.
but that merge element I feel like is just that alone because the game besides that is fine, for what it is. But that merge system, where if you're not familiar with it, basically at a certain point threshold, one of the gods, as another player, if they're behind a certain amount of points, they cease to start getting points. They don't get to really play anymore. And their abilities kind of merge with another player. It's which I believe in like a 4-player game, it's like the third place person. Um, So they become kind of like a merged hybrid where they're kind of playing together now.
Yes.
It's so dumb. It's such a dumb element. Because it's like, okay, now because it's not like, oh, if I'm in last place, I bump up to those victory points. No, the person who was in third, or if you're playing a 3-player game, God forbid, if you're in like if it gets the merge system, and let's say I'm at 20 points and you're at 19 and someone else is at 3, the second place person goes down to the third, and now it's like now we're playing together.
Well, that's what because we played the 3-player game
Yes,
with your ex, and we
maybe that was the problem.
well, no, but the thing that really rubbed me, and this is just what happens with the merge
Was it
mechanic,
my
is
ex?
it was with no, but remember that on that track when that time happens, you and me were tied, but
Oh
because
yeah,
you were on top of me, because that was the tiebreaker. If your counter's on top,
yeah,
then I fell all the way down to where Cat was.
yep,
And I'm just like, what the hell? I mean, that was so irritating because I thought
yeah,
because I was playing right up with you, like we were like neck and neck
yep,
doing stuff, and then it's like I fell all the way down to your slacking X, and and then I'm just like, what the hell am I doing? And you're just so far ahead of us. It's just
yeah.
like, you know,
It's so bad. I mean, that's alleviated a little bit in a 4-player game, but it's completely nixed in a 2-player game, and that's where most people like it because it becomes more chess-like, which makes sense. Like
I would
I
rather
could
just
see.
not have the merge mechanic in the game at all.
Oh
Like play
yeah,
because you could take it out and play 3 4 player game and it just has player elimination. Oh, you're last place, you're
I
gone.
guess, which would
You
make a little
know,
bit more sense thematically. It's like, oh, you don't have enough worshippers anymore. Your god
right?
faded into obscurity, so you don't get to play. But I don't know, like in the trilogy of Eric Lang games, Rising Sun and Blood Rage are just so far above this one. Um, I mean, I guess those games aren't amazing at a 2-player,
Right.
um, at a 2-player account, but God, like imagine having all this content and it's just to play it at 2. No, thank you. Uh, and it's so funny as time goes on. Like if you ever run a YouTube channel or just in general, if things are huge in your life, like if people are making a big deal about things that actually don't matter, like board games, it will pass. I got hated on
Oh, I see.
for
Yeah,
for our video. And I did a second video to it's like, okay, I'll play it like I'll try it again. Um and no, it's still not a good game, but yeah, it's yeah, nope. And now no one talks about this game.
yeah,
No one's bringing up Ankh.
yep.
In fact, I see more people selling it than
I see
playing
still
it.
more people still talking about Blood Rage over any of them.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Blood Rage definitely has the staying power. Rising Sun, I think, could also hit this list. But yeah, Ankh was like for sure getting onto it.
Yeah. Yep. I
That's
agree.
it.
All right. My number two is a game
The
that
minis
I.
are really good though.
Oh yeah, for sure. The quality is fine. The all the components and stuff are really nice. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right. My number two is a game that I showed you. You didn't like it. But it's one that needs to be played with higher player counts. But there is still there's a like what this list is. There's a solid group that just loves this game, absolutely adores it. We'll play it. The games take forever. We'll
Uh,
play, and then there's others that just don't get it or don't care for the randomness and all the craziness with it. This is an event game, in my opinion. That takes a good 3 4 hours to play, and that is Spartacus. Um,
that's dude, the
and
show sucks so much.
I don't mind the show.
Yeah, it has a bunch of porn in it. That's what this game's missing. Where's the porn expansion?
Well, this one is it has mature content. You have to be 17 to play this game.
You have to be
Um,
18 to play Dark Corner.
but but yeah, this one is just a blast. Like every time I've played this, I have even if I've messed myself over and stuff because there's no rule. There are rules to this game, but you can lie, cheat, do whatever the hell you want in this game, but you got to be stealthy. Because I messed up. I was playing a 5 player game of this, and mind you, like I said, it's a long game, and maybe 30 minutes into the game, I made a deal with a guy. I was like, hey, if you pay me 10 coins, then I will allow you to go into the arena because he had a really good gladiator, um, and where he could get more of the in-game points and stuff. Well, he gave me the 10 coins, and then I was like, never mind. It's like you screw people over like that. But then after I did that too early in the game, it was just like I was fucked the rest of the game. Nobody wanted to deal with me or anything, so you just kind of had to slow roll your way up. But this one, there's a lot of player interaction with this one. There's a lot of craziness that goes on, market phases, different cards you can play to block people's stuff. The expansions add more more cool stuff. Pretty much what you're doing is you're taking on the you take on the take control of a head of a house, um, and then you are trying to create a good stable of slaves and gladiators, and you're going to at the end of every round, which the rounds go through several different steps, then there's a vote or different stuff about who goes into the arena, and then there's a bunch of different things in there. You get the arenas out there, the gladiators out there, and then before the fight takes place, you can gamble. You can say, I'm gonna put 5 coins on victory or 5 coins on decapitation. There's different stuff like that that happens. You gain money that way. You win. You choose how long of a game you want to play. Um, you can play up to 12 points. If you have 12 at the end of an entire phase or round, you can win, or whatever number you guys choose. But you're just, when you get into the battle, you're just rolling handfuls of dice, and the blue dice are movement, black's defense, red's offense, and you just kind of, when everybody rolls them, you kind of line them up, and you lose dice, and you pretty much go down until you don't have any dice to go. That's kind of how the battles are resolved. This one, I've had tons and tons of experiences where it comes down to a big roll at the end, and you're rolling to see if this is going to be a win for you or not. It's a crowd pleaser. Like I said, it plays best when you're running with 4, 5, 6 players. Games are long, but it's just you're always doing something. There's like not downtime because
Mm-hmm.
you're always invested in the battles because you've bet money on it, and because it's just funny seeing stupid shit happen. Um, and yeah, I mean, and like they said, the expansions add these different kind of things that um, there's like blessings and different kinds of things, cards that get added into that big deck that you can kind of do different stuff with. Um, but yeah, I mean, they came out with a new version of this, and it has like generic Gladiator art on it. I still like the TV show, and
Oh
but
yeah, I forgot they did
and
do a
yeah,
reprint.
yes, and I they took out like this. It's not an NC-17 now, so it's like because there's a lot of very inappropriate cards in this game.
Yeah.
But they made it more family friendly, I guess, for all intents and purposes. But printed a nice 3D insert, got it all put in one box, and all nice and cool. But yeah,
What a
I mean
waste of
that's
filament.
huh?
I said, what a waste of
Oh
filament.
no, it didn't take very much. But yeah, this is just a great game to play with big player count. We played it at three when I
Yeah.
taught it to you, and that's very sketchy at three. Like
Yeah.
I would say four is the bare minimum, and probably five, six is where it really gets going because then you can really start wheeling and dealing a lot more, and stuff starts happening and everything. But
Nice.
yep, that's my number two, Spartacus.
Okay. And my number one most polarizing game, I think, is a crossover. Actually, it's our own first crossover, our only crossover, probably. And that
I mean,
is
I could stay spitting out a lot. Let's see what it is. Oh,
Epic Spell Wars.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's art alone. Like, there's just, I mean, its gameplay is whatever. Like, I mean, yeah, it's swingy, random. This game could be insanely long if everyone is dying only once. Um, or getting dead wizard kills.
Uh-huh.
But no, it's content. This art is, I mean, everyone in my group thinks it's amazing, but yeah, like every one of these games you can play and you'll find out if you like it by the time the game is done.
Yep.
No one like this is a game that people will never even attempt to play based off its art alone.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, oh, it's easily my number one. Um, and some of these cards that we're looking at are tame. Like the names are
Oh
kind
gosh,
of like,
yes.
but there's some that I'm like, even I'm like, oh my God, like, cause I'm like, oh fuck, one of the characters in the deck building one, it's called Heavy Flow, and they're nauseating.
Like the one with our current president that
It's
his
literally
head looks
an
like an
asshole.
asshole and there's diarrhea somewhere.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, which is all appropriate. I mean, fuck that guy. But yeah, it's like no one's gonna be like, well, maybe the game is good. Like, no, you're just not gonna even come near it if you find the art to be grotesque or whatever. So it had to be my number one.
Oh yeah.
Um, I can't even explain this game to people. But like,
Yeah.
there's nothing I could say that would convince someone to play this if they just don't want to look at what's on the cards. And I'm including the deck builder and all that as well.
Gotcha.
Both of them
Yeah.
are in here. I mean, even though the deck builder is a solid deck builder, if you love deck builders but you find this art insanely offensive or disgusting, you're not playing it.
Nope.
And I don't blame you. There's not. I wouldn't even. Yeah, it's just wild. So yeah, that's it. That's my number one. Epic Spell Wars, the dueling wizard one or the deck builder.
By the way, there's six.
There are six.
I
Okay,
looked
well,
when
I
we
mean,
were
I have
talking.
them all
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. So I need there are four more I need to get then.
And the deck builders, you got to get. There's three of
I don't
those.
know. Yeah, I guess I want to get these first just because you know I have a lot of deck. But I like this one. It's just fun to have and try to get. It's almost a party game in a way.
It
This
is
one.
a party game.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's the
mean,
only way it would
right.
be. Um, but yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, my number one is also a crossover.
Oh, is it really? Oh, okay.
Yes. You
Um.
just talked about it.
Oh, is it Onk?
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to put it on here. I couldn't.
I mean, you have to. It's like
Yeah,
this one's my. As soon as you brought up this list back in the day, I was like, this one with the community, with your followers, your listener.
yeah,
It's like this was so polarizing. It's like our opinions on this game got hate.
yeah.
you know, and it's like,
This is the only game that I'm aware of that actually my discussion was put into the Onk forum, like
yeah,
or on Reddit page,
I remember.
and yeah, no one was getting it, and I'm like, man, are you guys just like shills of Simon, or is it's like you guys don't know Eric? It's not like he's your buddy. Like, calm the fuck down. And I mean, it's been when did this game come out? Like
Um,
2019 or something?
it was 21,
Was it a little bit
I
more
think.
recent? Onk. Uh, no.
20,
Okay, 2021.
21, yeah.
So yeah, 4 years later, and yeah, like no one is defending it.
And I wouldn't have hated on it except for that one mechanic. Like the
Yeah,
game itself wasn't horrible until that mechanic thing. Man, that was a
it is
ballsy
the. I mean,
maneuver.
take BGG rankings for what they are. It is the lowest ranked. Granted, it's also the newest, so it might have the least amount of. Well, actually, no, because it has the least amount of reviews or rankings that actually showcase a little bit more. It's lower than Blood Rage and Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Not by much, but it still is. And those games are significantly older.
Yeah,
This
I
game just
just
didn't have the staying power. That merge mechanic people were defending because who knows why.
because they
And then
spent
as
$300 on a Kickstarter.
exactly, it's the sunk cost. Yeah, people are I have to love it. It's like no, you don't. Like it's fine. It's a bad system.
Yeah.
It's an innovative idea. It didn't work, and then Simon fired Eric, and now he's off. Who knows what he's doing? I actually think they are going on Kickstarter, him
He's
and someone
making
else.
weird games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was a game that they just announced was
It's
on.
like something Academy, or it's like that based on a Clan Wars or whatever. He's making
Oh,
that it's that iOS app like Clan
yeah.
Wars or something.
Oh,
He's
Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans. That's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. All right. Because I was looking at that and I'm like, I don't think so.
No,
Because I
no,
played
no.
Clash of Clans pretty extensively
Yeah, I did
years
too.
and years ago, but I'm like, who the fuck's bringing Clash of Clans
I know.
10 years later? Like, it's still, I mean, maybe it's still being played. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. This was this. I knew as soon as this list that this was my one. Like just
Yeah.
because of how crazy
Yeah.
one mechanic just
No,
divided.
Scarface. That is the only other game that people that should have actually been on this list for me, but that is the only other one that got kind of as close of a
Really.
response.
Yeah.
But again, like these games come and go. Like
Hmm.
even if they're beloved, even like it's like this is the best game I've ever played. In a week, it is no longer the new hotness.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
well, that's it, everyone. That is our top 10 polarizing games. Let us know where you stand on these games if you're in the love or hate column, and also let us know what games you think are the most polarizing in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.